Hey guys, so we have a really good episode again. Taylor Duncan joins us once again, and we had to cut it a smidgen on the shorter side than last time, but definitely had a lot of conversation. We talked about all kinds of things. We went from crafting to injuries to Taylor did the reveal to us of the skateboard that he made for Craft Tea, and you guys have to stick around to see this thing.
As you can see, we're still having tea.
Hey guys, welcome back to Craft Tea. This is episode 30. I didn't double check this time. 37. 6? It's 36.
You're 36.
I am 36. We have another guest, and it's the second time we got a repeat guest. I thought we had a guest, but he's kind of missing a little bit. But we have Taylor Duncan is joining us again. Really excited so that we can talk about things outside of like Expo and stuff and get more into some crafting conversation and everything. You know what I mean? Not that we weren't before. I'm just talking now. That's what I'm like, whatever. You know.
Duncan!
Hello?
Hello?
Duncan?
Hey, here I come. Hang on. Oh, hey. Sorry, I had to brush my teeth. I didn't want to talk to you, and my breath was all crappy and terrible. Morning breath.
I really appreciate that because nothing gets you, ruined
I thought
more than morning breath.
Yeah, I thought you. It just makes conversation better when breath is fresh.
Yes.
All I could think of is the Winter Fresh commercial now. No, it's a Mentos commercial.
Spilled my water.
La la la.
Oh, see, now he went and brushed his teeth. Oh no, he's coming back.
He had to get his.
I had to remind everyone to wash their hands.
Oh, hey, I saw that. I didn't get a chance to watch it this morning. I saw it when I was flipping through.
Wait, go ahead. You go watch it right now.
Okay.
And then you give me your feedback.
I spilled that water everywhere. Why don't you let me do that? Jeez Louise.
I have water everywhere too.
Are you entering a white t-shirt contest, Duncan?
Funny. That's awesome.
Isn't it?
So
it's my favorite. I think I'm just gonna like carry it everywhere I go.
So
I enjoy it so much. People are like, "What are you doing?" Well, one, I want to remind you to wash your hands, and also, look what I made.
Mount it to the side of your car.
Yeah. Right on the back rear windshield.
Yes.
I mean,
you know how you have to wave your hand to open some of those trunks?
Yeah, we got
SUV.
That.
Make that where you have to wave your hand under that and it opens up.
The sink. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
It looks so.
You got to wash your hands before you can get in the car.
Only in the back.
So quick rundown. What's the water made out of?
UV resin.
UV resin. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty dope how you got it stand up like that. I'll definitely have to watch that.
That's what, and my whole process is 100% in that video. This is definitely one of those ones where I came up with it as I was going.
Yeah, that's usually what I do.
Evolving and evolving. Sarah asked me to just show people how to make a waterfall like template. And I was like, I need more. So then it went from that to this to then I was look, I painted little bubbles with the cup. You know what I mean?
Did you do that with airbrush?
I didn't do it in an airbrush because I didn't have it. It's at my opened one. I'm not going to just open airbrushes. My open one is at home where I actually craft at now. I actually craft.
They're portable. You can take it anywhere you want.
It's not make believe. They are portable.
I've got mine right here. Shameless plug. Get your Duncan custom airbrush.
I'm glad you did it because I was just about to.
Glitterguy.com or wherever.
Well, no, if they're getting them wherever, we got to go get those people because that's your airbrush.
I don't know if you can see that in the video. These things are really really snazzy. I literally use mine all the time. I talked to you the other day. I was doing a mural at a dance studio, and I literally used my airbrush to do the shading because the other thing I have a little portable. It's okay, but I have a giant air compressor, and all that's bulky, and you have to plug it in and all this crap. This one, literally, I just put it in my pocket, and I'm walking around airbrushing my drop shadows and all that crap.
It's perfect, and that battery lasts a while because And this isn't a shameless plug. This
It's got
is
two
just
batteries.
yeah, legit. That Gase, I forgot to charge them. Remember, I came running. I'm like, does this mean it's at 100?
And everybody's battery
Over.
lasted the whole 5 hours.
Right.
Yeah. Didn't even need to use the second.
Exactly. That's a good point. I need to write that down.
We're really proud of you with the airbrush. I think it's really cool, and it screams Duncan.
Yeah, and we were talking yesterday on Messenger, and I just keep going down rabbit holes of videos and stuff, and then now I got hit with a Facebook reel got me this time. I'm like, scrolling, it was like bathroom time. Scrolling,
I'm dead.
and I hit a reel, and it was like this dude was making a little basketball court for his kids, and he just did layered stencil of LeBron. And it was like the background, it was just spray paint. And then it like, the jersey, then it's like the skin tone, and then the black outlines that does all the definition. And I was like, okay, I know the magic of video makes things faster, but like overall, there's no way this took him that long to do. And it looked amazing. I'm like, dude, I would have thrown money at this thing, you know what I mean? And to put it in my kid's room. And I'm like, I can do this? Can I do it on a smaller scale? Can I do it on Tumblr? Can I make it?
Yeah.
So then that's why I said maybe Christmas lights or something, But I think that I think it's way more approachable than people realize, airbrushing.
Right. And it's just getting it. Most of the people that I talk to, they're like, yeah, I got one because of your videos, but it's been in the box for 2 years. I'm like, that's like airbrush abuse.
Thank you, Chris.
Can't leave it. Hey, how's my sound, by the way, Chris?
It sounds great. Yeah,
You want to come? You come adjust my mic. You need to.
yeah, I got you.
This mic's
Okay.
actually for show. This one doesn't even do anything. My mic's actually literally right here. My mic's on my shirt.
Mine's right here. It's not even plugged up.
We're so professional. Duncan, what happened to your pinky?
I thought I was young. I was playing basketball with the youth at church, and it happened so fast. I don't know which direction it went, but it wasn't supposed to go. It's the wrong direction.
The way it went, it wasn't supposed to.
It wasn't a familiar
Yes.
direction.
And so, like, I could take it off and I could bend this little tender, bend it. The tip's still pretty tender. It happened a week and a day ago. And I was just like, fine. I didn't do anything about it. But then it started getting really purple around this joint.
Yeah.
And then at the tip, there's like a line of bruise. And then up here, it's like starting to turn colors. And the family was nagging me like, go get an x-ray. I was like, well, literally, it's okay. But no, so I finally went and got an x-ray. But it's just badly sprained. It's not broken.
Oh, see, that's where I end up going with those things. So then we were talking a little bit before this. That this time, it was roughly this time last year, actually, maybe like December-ish. But we were cleaning out the warehouse. We had a big dumpster out back outside the loading dock that I could just go and like throw, big loads in there. And I was carrying a back seat to one of our Hummers is getting like a whole new interior.
He was asked to ask for help.
And I had all this stuff. Yeah, at the time, me and Sarah weren't talking that day. It was one of those things. So I was like, this is a perfect day to just like leave me the hell alone. I'm going in the warehouse to just throw shit. Like, that's a good day for it. So I got the back seat to the Hummer, and it was one of them ones that like it'll fold. You know what I mean? So I have hugged, and I'm going to the edge, and it's very heavy. And when I go to throw it over the edge, the latch that like keeps it folded unfolded. And as I was throwing it, I lost like my grip, and the whole thing, I'm doing this, imagine. So then the weight of it pinned my hands down like that. It's the edge of the dumpster. And the seat frame was metal. So it was just like, it was like 20 degrees outside. So, So I go to throw it, and it was like, bam!
Don't break the table.
Sorry. It was so hard that I was like, it was like, you see white, not black, when you see white, and I was like, okay, I stood really still, and I felt the nausea coming, and I was like, I have to get to a seated position ASAP because I'm on a time crunch before consciousness fucking is lost. I felt like that nausea. So I power walked into the office, and I'm like at my desk, and I'm like just about shaking from the trauma. And Sarah,
you stopped at the freezer.
I stopped at the freezer, and I grabbed popsicles that I found and just had them on my hand.
Did it
I'm
look
at my
bad?
desk and Sarah walks in and she's like, "What's even going on with you?" Mind you, I remind you that we're not talking right now. So
Because he was
she's
dead
like,
silent, and he's just sitting there like this.
she's like, "Oh, he's
And
just in one of those
ghost
moods."
white.
My lips were turning blue. I was like, fucking,
And what you had to eat.
and
You
I
had
didn't
not
eat
eat
yet
all
either.
day.
So it was like not good. And they found like Sarah found saltines or something. I'm shoving saltines down my throat and chugging
Were you
bottles of
sweating?
water. Yep, cold sweat.
Yeah.
And just sitting there like, dude, you got to go to a doctor. And I was like, first off, a doctor does nothing for injuries like that.
Well, no one even.
They're
knew
going to
what
do
had
exactly
happened.
what they did for you. They give you one of those guys, they tape it to the one next to it, and they
pat you on the
say,
butt and tell you to
hey,
go home.
call me in 4 weeks.
Here's the bill.
And yeah, here's a giant bill. You're welcome. So
This was the X-ray only cost $20.
See, Duncan, he went and
it costs $20 after the insurance, probably.
you have insurance too.
I know, but your insurance rates are affected the more you use your insurance. So unless it's a
I
dire
don't know.
emergency, I don't use insurance if I don't really
I
have
can't
to.
pay for it anymore.
That's just
Continue on with your story, broke boy.
Yeah.
anyways. I just I taped it up and but I believe I still never went to the doctor, but I'm pretty sure, I mean, I can use it now, but I'm pretty sure what I did at the time was literally just like turned my middle knuckle to like dust. I think I like shattered that thing because I couldn't bend it for like weeks. But it's good now.
That's good.
I win.
Was it right hand or left hand?
My right hand, and I'm right-handed.
And he's
Mine's-
also a
this
right-handed
is-
mouse clicker.
Left, and I'm right-handed, so that helps.
It wasn't good for playing video games.
When you talk about you turned white and you like everything turned white, looking, and you cold sweat and you almost like felt nauseous, like I did that last year when I drilled through my. I was holding a beam and
Duncan, no.
like pushing, and it went through that meaty part.
In that part, oh, the web.
Yeah, it almost went all the way through, and I just went, ooh. And I was actually at church building the set for Vacation Bible School because go figure, I'm the guy
Yeah,
that.
I don't know if you
have
should go
full-
back to that church.
You have full contact church?
Yeah. So I was building the set and making the frame, and it just like it was literally the last screw, and I was pushing because it was giving me some trouble, and it just went. And I said, "Oh my gosh!" And I got like this ear quit working. I didn't know. Like everything went. Like my vision was going. This ear quit working, and my wife and son were laughing at me the whole time. Bailey was the only one taking me seriously. She went and got me a bag of ice for my head. And she said, y'all stop laughing at me. It's not funny. But then my son said what he had told my wife, what made it so funny to them. It's funny to me now. I was like, dude,
But it
he
was
said,
funny at the time.
he said, just because we're at church and you're making a Vacation Bible School set, don't mean you need to pierce your hand like Jesus. Try and make a hole in your hand. I was like,
I'm not
dude,
gonna lie.
I'm
the
in pain.
irony went through my mind immediately, but I didn't know if I should say it out loud.
that's what he said. And they were
Yeah,
laughing,
it's
and
what I
I'm
saw
hearing
immediately. I'm like,
pain.
well,
I'm hearing pain. I don't have any vision. I can't hear out of this ear. I'm cold sweat. I'm about to
well, you're saying
leave.
it was a miracle. You performed a miracle or something.
I don't know. I almost started levitating. I don't know. Whatever. But Bailey helped me out. She did good.
That's awesome.
That's
But you talking about
you
your
go to.
Yeah, you should ask them if they can do like two-hand touch next time you go or something. This
Well, it was like-
contact church is a little too much.
yeah. It was like 10:30 at night, and I was almost finished building the set for the stage, and I was trying to get done and just slipped right through there. But Bailey, she turned like, you see your green on your chair and your table. We were getting out of the Awful Waffle, aka the Waffle House. It's actually a great waffle. I just call it the Awful Waffle. Y'all have Waffle House?
Anymore.
I feel like everything that they make, they like finish it and then they take some grease and like slather it on it and then they give it to you.
That's good. But she slammed her finger in the car door getting out, and it was pretty bad. And she turned like legit that green color
Before or after breakfast?
before.
Oh.
We were on the way getting out to go in.
That's what I thought you were saying. Poor girl. Not only was she,
Yeah.
but now she's in pain.
Oh, that wasn't anything compared to, like, she was at I don't know if I told you this story before. She broke her arm recently.
Yeah.
Like
Well, we got part
both
of
bones
it.
completely. Did I tell y'all that?
Just
No,
part. So let's
she
go
had
through the
both?
whole thing.
Yeah, both bones right here, just at the same time. She was she did a bouncy house. I know it's kind of
Well,
counter.
Alex isn't going to bouncy houses ever.
Well,
that on
they
the
work
list.
better if you stay in them.
She bounced
So she was
around.
she was running one of those bouncy house obstacle courses, racing somebody, and there's the exit. So she dives through to win. She did win, but she landed over the pad of the exit, and she said she saw her arm bend right here. And we went, got an x-ray. It went right back. You know, it was lined up pretty good.
Right.
And they just put a splint for a
Jason's
week
having
and a
hard time
half.
with this.
Huh?
Jason's having a hard time with this story.
Oh, it gets worse.
Great.
She
So much blood.
so her arm, you know, both the bones broke completely. I'll send y'all some x-rays after the show.
Very good.
But literally, it didn't need resetting. It didn't need surgery.
Wow.
And a week and a half later, we come back, re-splint it. They check it, and then another half a week, they did an x-ray. Everything still hadn't moved. It's been 2 weeks now. We're going to have another x-ray. Everything still looks exactly the same. So they put the cast on, and somehow, something during the cast process, something happened because they didn't do it right or whatever. So 4 weeks later, we come back, take the cast off, and they take an x-ray, and they come in like this, like,
That's never good.
I was like, yeah, he's like,
Jason's gonna hurt somebody. I know it.
we messed up. So then he shows me the x-ray. Now her bone has a 23-degree angle.
You're not doing so
At the
good
break.
with doctors. I don't see.
So
This isn't helping the case for doctors for me.
So what's gonna happen now?
So she had the next week. They tried to get it that same week, but rushed. Well, it's still malleable, I guess. She ended up from not having to be set, not having to have surgery. Now she had to have surgery with metal.
Rods?
What's it called? A bracket? Not bracket. Is it? A bracket with 7 screws and then a rod in this one.
Oh, no.
Yeah, metal hardware.
Uh-huh.
Whatever you call that. I don't know.
I had to have that in my leg when I broke my leg. They had to put a plate and 3 screws in there.
They put a plate, that's it. A plate and 7 screws in this one. And in this one, they put a rod down the middle of the bone. And in 6 or 8 months, they'll have to go back in and take that rod out.
Yeah, that's what I had to have. They told me when I had broken my leg, they were like, hey, it'll heal all good and it can stay in there, or you can later have it taken out if you want to, but like you don't have to. I started developing arthritis around all the hardware within a couple of years. So I had to have it removed. And the damage is done though. Like I have advanced traumatic arthritis is what they call it in my knees. And I basically have the knees of like a fucking 80-year-old right now.
That's what they tell me about my back of a 70-year-old. I had surgery when I was 31. What'd you do to your leg to break it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good one too.
That's great, right? So I was, I used to go to concerts very often. And I was at a concert, I was like 21-ish. And I got kicked in the leg, basically, is like the long and short of it. But it was the way that it went was my leg was planted, and I knew that the kid, you know, like we were all like friends that would be in like these mosh pits and stuff. Well, he was like kicking, and it was just the timing. My leg just planted down, so it was like stiff. He was kicking, and it hit. If this was my knee, it hit right at my knee, and it hit this to my leg. So how your bones have that like shape at the top, mine did this, and it fractured it. So they had to like put this back and then put a plate and 3 screws there. But because it's right at the knee joint, it's fucked. Like there's no. I've never like had the same quality of life since. I was like, when I was in the best shape of my life. I was like ripped. I used to go to the gym all the time. I'd run all the fucking time.
He was a vegetarian
Elliptical was like my
again.
favorite, like, you know, workout instrument. Yeah, whatever. And
Tell them where you were.
now, what?
Tell them where you were when you did it.
I was in Delaware.
When you
Yeah.
went home.
Yeah, I was at a concert in Delaware, and when it happened, my friends like went to scoop me up real quick, because I went down like a sack of bricks. And
Yeah.
the reaction is like, "Oh, help him up." And I was like, "No, because they scooped my legs." I was like, "No, let go." So they helped me like get to the car, and like I said, we were in Delaware, and I lived around I still lived at home, I think, then, like in Levittown. So I was like, "Can you guys just go straight to the hospital back in Bucks County? We'll go straight there." And
It's a few hours, right?
it's like a 2-hour drive. Like
Wow.
15 minutes later, though, I was like, find the nearest hospital. I couldn't. I was getting like nauseous in the back seat. I couldn't handle the pain.
Hyperventilating.
And then they took me to the hospital in Delaware. I was in that waiting room for over an hour before they even like looked at anything. I was like, my leg's broken, guys. Like, it's fucking broke. So then they waited so long and it swelled up so much that they had to cut my jeans off because they couldn't hold them down anymore. And I'm in the back room, and I was like, "Do you think I could get some ibuprofen or something?" But they didn't give me anything. I was like, "I'm in so much pain right now."
They would have known I was in pain. I can't sit there. I would have been like, ah.
But yeah, I ended up getting a plate and 3 screws, and then now I have arthritis in my knees, and literally my quality of life has been less ever since.
You said asking for ibuprofen when Bailey was at the hospital. We didn't go to the local one here because it's no good. We went like 40 minutes down the road to a good one, and it's a good choice too. But she was in there, and she's like, they were trying to give her some ibuprofen. She's like, "I take ibuprofen at home when I have a headache. Do you have anything stronger?"
Yes, girl. Tell them straight to the point. That'd have been me. Like, this ain't enough. I'm gonna need something a little bit stronger, please.
Vicodin and above, please. This is ridiculous.
But also,
Yeah.
stuff makes my stomach hurt. Then that's why I'm just happy to stay out of pain.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously
That's the more ideal thing for
obviously
me.
the optimal
Anyway.
place to just never get hurt.
Yeah. I broke my arm roller skating before, and I went to catch myself. Well, the funny thing is, I just finished a karate demonstration breaking bricks and stuff, crap like that. And then to go to eat pizza, and then we went roller skating. I broke my arm roller skating. Like, I landed and I tried to catch myself, and my hand hit the ground, but my wrist kept going, and then it hit the ground behind it. So when I picked my hand up and was holding it like this, my hand was up here. And I was in 6th grade. I was 12 years old, and I was hyperventilating because it was like, it hurt insane. And they gave me a shot right there to numb it. And then he said, "All right, I'll be back in 15 minutes. He come back 15 minutes. I don't think that I'm in shot work. I don't know. I was freaking out. He grabbed my arm. He put it under his arm like this, his back to me. He's like, "You might not want to watch." And then so he pulls and goes down to reset my wrist.
Yeah.
And it hurt the whole time I had my cast on. You know how people can use their hands when they have their cast on? I couldn't do that. Couldn't do that.
Man.
But I have no ill effects of it now.
I have one more injury story, and it's
I ain't got none.
it's ironic because it goes hand in hand. You see, there's a pattern with me. So I broke my arm, and that was also at a concert.
Oh, this was under.
And this was
Dang.
so this was a long time. I wasn't going to shows for like a while and stuff, right? And then I'm still doing line work at the time. And this was also, it
2017.
took me, after I broke my leg, it took me literally like a decade to want to really work out again. That's like a real hard mind fuck when you're at this level in your life of like, physical appearance or whatever. And then when you lose it, it's so much harder to just go back, especially when you have to start lower,
It was 27.
And you're older.
Yes. So, mind you, I'm like, okay, time to like start doing it again, going to the gym again. I'm doing line work. I'm working with a lot of guys that go to the gym when they're traveling and stuff, and a lot of those dudes juice and stuff. So spoiler alert, at the time I was juicing a little bit, and I was pretty big. I was actually pretty freaking big.
We were getting married that year,
Yeah.
Dunk.
That was actually, I went from my heaviest to my most fit in 1 year because I was like, I don't want to look bad for our wedding.
This was April. We were getting married in September. The scene is set. Go ahead.
So anyway, I go
I
to a
remember seeing
concert.
those wedding shots.
I'm in. You know what's funny? I'll find the pictures.
Just
I was so like inflated from juicing at the time that I went to a concert with Sarah. Same thing. I'm at a concert in the mosh pit,
I
and
can't breathe.
I see someone swinging, and I'm like, I don't want to get hit. So I put my arm up like this. I got a nightstick fracture. Bang, right there. Hit me. It was right on that bone, fractured my arm, and I had to get a cast, and I wasn't able to lift, obviously, during that time. Within 2 weeks, because of how inflated I was from juicing, I could slide my cast off my entire arm.
What?
So what was funny was I was trying to stay with a workout regime as much as I could. So I was still biking and stuff. So I would slide my cast off and try and go and bike and slide my cast back on. I was a lunatic. But
Dang.
that it only lasted for so long. But then once the cast came off and I tried to like lift weights again, that especially being like able to lift more than I ever could in my life and then going right off an injury.
It was like 8 weeks, right? You had to have that cast on?
It was insane. But I was like, dude, I can't even like curl 20 pounds anymore. I feel like when I was literally curling the 80-pound dumbbells at the time.
He had 8 weeks of pizza fries.
Yeah, I just started.
In video games, he couldn't go to work. You hadn't had that in years because you hadn't been laid off because, you know, if anyone knows how union work is, it's up and down, but you were straight for a while. You hadn't been home like that in a minute.
Correct. Yeah, I was actually
the time that I worked home. And I had been working home for over a year at that point. You had never stayed home an extended period of time. Till
it's
then.
just, yeah. I get hurt too much.
Maybe no more
It happens
concerts.
right after I get in shape too. So like,
So it's not intentional, is what he's saying.
maybe if I just stay fat, I'm good.
You're not fat.
Just don't go to concerts.
I'll stay
Sounds
fun.
like that's your. That's
I
a
need to go to
concert.
concerts and stay in the seats. That's what I need, Taylor.
That's where I was.
Maybe up in the
Ask where Sarah
nosebleed
was.
section.
Yeah, sit my ass in
Safer
the
up in the
seats.
nosebleed.
Ask where Sarah
Yeah.
was at Under Oath, right? Sarah was up on the top stage where her friends had camped out to get a nice, cool seat up in the VIPs. We had like a couch, and there was like 2 chair thingies. And it's surprised that I remember this because I was
She
too
was
sheep for the
blackout.
win
She
by
was-
the time Jason came up to talk to me.
She was blackout wasted. I don't even think she really understood that.
I had
Like,
no idea where he went.
what was happening.
He left. I had
Oh.
no idea. No idea.
it happened, and it was one of those things, you know, when you feel that pain, you're like, this is broken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I walked
Yeah, yeah.
straight up the steps to where Sarah was. Babe, I'm gonna have to take the car home. You're gonna have to get a ride with our friends home. I
Yep.
broke my arm. I got to go to the hospital now. She's like, okay. And I went and did
I
my
made
thing. I went to the
cups.
urgent care and all by myself and myself.
I had
and all that
made
stuff.
cups all day. I had forgot to eat because I'm like, oh, we got to go to the concert. We have to leave at like 3 or whatever time we had to leave. So I banged out all my cups, probably stayed up all night before making more cups because I was just doing vinyl on glasses back then. Hadn't eaten, forgot until we got to Under Oath. And I'm like 2 beers in already. I'm like, ooh, I'm feeling it. But then you get in there and you're singing with all your friends. You're having a good time. For some reason, your husband has abandoned you and gone down to the mosh pit where he gets nightsticked or whatever. But I was having
Was
a
it
great time.
somebody's arm or it was a nightstick?
It was
It was somebody's arm, but that's what
it's
that's what they call that. Is
Oh, okay.
We did the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Sheesh, wow.
In case you're wondering, they call it that because that's what people do naturally when a cop goes to fucking hit them with a nightstick.
Yeah.
A cop or anyone. If anyone hits you with a nightstick, you do that, or only if a cop hits you with one.
Legally, cops are supposed to be the only people with nightsticks, so I'm
Really?
gonna say cop.
Like
yes,
normal
they're
people can't have
they're
one.
illegal.
Ooh, I didn't know that. I think I might have known that, and then for some reason don't need to post that information in my brain at all times, so I dumped it. I think.
You could carry a cane and use it the same way. Just make it. Just have a cane.
I do that when I thought he said something else.
I think I have a cane with a sword in it.
You do?
Nice.
We go to the Ren
Sweet.
Fair. We get a lot of cool stuff there. We're going to the Ren Fair this weekend. Have you ever been to the Ren Fair?
New. Is that Renaissance Fair?
That is the Renaissance Fair.
I'm sure I've seen some happening around here. I've never been to one.
Yeah, we have the second biggest Ren Fair in the country.
Dang.
The first biggest is in Texas, and that one I want to go
Literally
to.
sleep there.
I want to go to because they do like it's basically like World of Warcraft, but real life. Like there's guilds, there's tents, there's everything. You essentially live on the premises for the time that you go to the one in Texas.
And
It's
you
like
kind of
camping.
stay
It's
in
like camping, but like fully immersed camping.
like time period appropriate
Correct.
lifestyle.
That's
For the
what
weekend.
I love about the Renaissance Fair is that everyone has their own definition of what that is. Like the Renaissance is a specific period, but
You got pirates.
you get pirates, you get whimsical fairies, dragons, especially it's Halloween time. So kids are dressed up like whatever they're going to dress up as too. But it's just really fun to see everybody's version of whatever, they think Renaissance is.
I dress up like Leonardo or Michelangelo, the painters.
I
hope
thought
so.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, or the Ninja Turtle.
Or a ninja.
That would count, wouldn't it?
That would be amazing. You're like, hey guys, we're gonna do a costume party of all famous artists. I'm coming as Leonardo.
Leonardo.
Da Vinci?
With my
No.
katanas.
Turtle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
I got two things. You let me know when you want me to show you or do it. I did prepare
Yeah, we can go into the
Dad
art
jokes.
section. of our
the dad jokes, and I've got from our virtual class, the skateboard we painted. I got show you the one I did.
I want to save that for last.
I was gonna say, let's
need to
Let's
send
save
to
that
you
for the
guys.
big reveal at the end.
You're gonna break this, and I'm gonna
No,
die,
you have
Jason.
the brakes on. Put the brakes on.
I'm literally going to pee myself if you break this test.
I'm gonna break your face.
Everyone heard that. So if my face is broken,
Good.
it's only for you.
So she's
will
got
not be
pee
able to hide
on
it.
herself and a
I will
broken
not be able
face.
to tell them I fell if my face is broken. Chris, do not cut
And
that out.
She fell down the steps. and
Now
the
Sarah's
theater.
gonna come in with like all this horror makeup. She's like, look, he broke my face.
What happened? I fell.
Everybody knows that I'm the one that gets
It's my
beat.
fault. You wish. Sometimes.
So what's the skull right there on the table?
This one?
Yeah.
This was the
Craft
last.
is just Jason showing off all his shit.
This one's the last Quack Pack craft.
So what is it?
You got
What?
You got fire?
No, but I have your other thing under the table. Do you just think I just walk around with a lighter in my pocket?
Yes.
For what?
I don't know. I walk around with a binky in my pocket.
Yeah, but that's for Alex.
I stay strapped with binkies.
I don't like it.
Sometimes
Anyway,
you never know
it's
when
a-
you're going to need one. And
it's a
you gotta
candle
just
holder.
relax.
This is a candle. There's a special little 3D printed adapter piece. This is normally a wine decanter skull that you can get on Amazon,
Turn the lights on.
but I can't
Oh.
because I epoxied the switch and then broke it. But it's got lights in it. You can use the switch. You just have to put something sharp in there to like
Put some sharp
Turn
in
it
the
on and off
electrical
now.
box. Got it.
Yeah.
put some tweezers in the outlet and it'll light right up.
But
Did-
look how cool it looks.
It is pretty rad. Did you guys see the one I airbrushed at the show from the Dimensional
yeah.
Drinks?
Shakira
saw
can't
she
stop
might-
talking about it.
She
She's
posted
like
a
so
TikTok.
obsessed with it.
Was it her husband that said he wanted to learn how to do that?
Did you see the skull that I airbrushed?
Yeah, I sent you. Didn't I send you pictures of it? I think I sent you pictures on Instagram and said, look at it for his first time.
I
Or
did.
did I only send you the guy he wanted to change the colors of?
That was all. You only sent me the one you want to change the color on.
Yeah, we'll have to send you the other pictures. I thought I sent you both.
Yeah, so I did a skull. So I did basically the same thing that I saw you do. That's why I did it. I was like, oh, we'll just add some shadows to the lines that exist in the skull to just add some depth to it and stuff. And yeah, I did that. And I sculpted him some eyeballs and I gave him a little cigar.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, he's
How did
cool.
it turn out?
I think he's really cool. I
cute.
gotta I have to finish the Tumblr portion that he goes to and then epoxy the whole thing.
But he can't
yeah,
stop starting new projects.
that's where I'm at. I'm under that realm of like 60% done, move on to the next.
He just wants to be me. He's already doing all my things. He's got the road rage. He can't get out of bed in the morning. He's crafting now. He's starting new projects. The man's me.
He's taking all your good qualities.
All my great ones, I'd say.
That's like Bailey's well, we had a parent teacher conference, and apparently she's taking on my severe ADHD. So
Oh, we were
she's
talking about this yesterday.
she's great in class, but I have to redirect her. She talks, if she has something on her mind, she has to say it. But she does really good in class. Like, her grades are great. She's like excels in everything, but she's just like,
But this is something really cool.
That's so funny.
That I think a lot of people can relate to is ADHD, having ADHD and stuff. And you were diagnosed late, right? You were only diagnosed a few years ago.
Like 2 years ago.
And I feel like anyone that talks to you is obviously like, that man has severe ADHD.
Severe.
In the best ways possible, of course. What did you say yesterday that I really liked? It was something about all the things in your past that you didn't realize were related to ADHD, but I can't remember what you said, but it was really good. But it's cool that you recognize that in her, because you didn't have any help, obviously, up until 2 years ago, knowing what was going on, and now she can.
Well, I was having a lot of struggles focusing, and I'd make notes everywhere. There's sticky notes in the car, in the office. I have a notepad on my phone, and like crap everywhere. And I put it on my calendar. I still didn't remember. And then my wife finally said, "Why don't you just go see what the doctor says?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, what's he gonna say? I'm just an idiot. I'm just not organized. I can't remember crap. Well, what do you want me to do about it?" She's like, "No, just." So finally, like, she did that for a year, and I finally went and was like, "Oh yeah, oh, you got it bad, sir." I was like, "Oh, okay." So then the first time, like, preface this, I have a high tolerance to any kind of medicine, super high. Like it takes a lot to get me working the way it's supposed to. Because, like, to give you an example, when I had my back surgery, they gave me the codeine or whatever, but he had to give me like the max, and it still just made me feel like I maybe just drank a Monster Energy drink or something. But my wife can take like a quarter of one, and she's buzzing off like she done drank a 12-pack.
Anesthesiologists have to go back to the drawing board when they're like, "Hey, I gave you what we did all the math to put you to sleep. What the fuck are you doing looking at me?"
Yeah, exactly. But so the first time I took it, have you ever seen that movie Limitless?
Yes.
That's a fantastic movie. But the first time I took my medicine, I was like, I was seeing like 2 days ahead, and like boom, boom, boom. I finally read my first article all the way through without stopping, which is insane.
Right.
Like, because normally I got to go back and forth to it like at least 5 times to finish the whole article. But literally, that was the only day it worked like that. All the rest of the days are just mediocre. It helps, and I can tell when I take it and when I don't. But if I take it every day, it does nothing.
Yeah.
So I have to space it out a little bit.
You gotta help yourself too. Like it only help you so much, and that's what I was working on for a long time with my doctor before I had to switch. But it's like you have to do things during your day that's going to help you. You can't just rely on medicine.
You have to be conscious about it. Exactly. Yeah.
Being conscious, knowing that you have it, and you're like, okay, so these are kind of like where I'm struggling. Obviously, now I have a category of struggles that I can focus on these and figure out how I can make those things better instead of trying to make the whole picture better when the whole picture's fine, just a little bit.
Right. Because if you're thinking it's something else and you're trying to manage that, it's counterproductive. You're managing the wrong thing. But if you know and you're managing the right way, it does make life a little easier.
Yeah, it's like the Christmas lights when you go and you have to figure out which ones, which ones.
I'll throw them away and get new ones.
I don't. That's where I'm at right now. I was just doing a Christmas set yesterday, and I wrapped the whole tree in the lights. I did horrible error on my part, and then I plugged them in.
Oh god!
50% of them turned on, and I was like, "Oh, you son of a bitch!"
Dang.
I saw one broken bulb, and I replaced that one, and it was still like a different set turned off. You know what I mean? And I was like, "Nope," pulled them all off the tree.
Yeah.
I had a different set that I plugged in first, and was like, "Okay, you work." But I was so mad.
Now Alex wants to be a Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, now my daughter's a walking Christmas tree.
Nice. Well, that's how you learn the hard way. Like now on, you'll always test them out before.
No, he won't.
No, I mean,
You
as long
will.
as I remember, my brain sometimes isn't working.
No,
But
we've
you,
been through quite a lot of Christmases with this man.
Well, actually, I buy the trees, like our tree at home is the pre-lit.
yeah,
The lights are
mine too.
part of it. I don't do that no more.
We got that pre-lit going.
That is the learning curve. Pre-lit
Yes.
trees are the way.
That is the way to go. But Jason, you actually, I noticed during the expo and stuff, and you managing and doing something, and then remembering to come back to something. Like you got a great memory. I was like
When he wants
envious.
It depends on what
When he wants to. He
It
can
is.
micro focus real hard. But then
I'm really good at remembering processes, but like that's like kind of it. And I
And
think
another,
that just goes back to just like I think about it all the time because my memory actually is bad. Like Sarah said, it's really, 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 really bad.
But when he
really
puts
bad.
his to-do list in there and
I
he's like,
think
this
the
is what
only
I
way
gotta
that
do.
I'm really able to function with a lot of this stuff is because at its heart, I'm good at remembering and understanding processes of things. So I don't have to remember like, oh, you were supposed to do this for this to work. I just like know like how this works. Someone has to just remind me like you're supposed to run the labeling machine. I don't necessarily remember how to work the labeling machine. I just walk back up to it each time if I'm been away for it for a long time and I'm like, I know how you're supposed to work. Does that make sense? I feel like it's a little
Yeah.
confusing the way I explained it.
And no, and
Well-
it does, like you can't explain it to someone, you can't write it down, but you know your core memory remembers like you've been riding a bike, which is ironic because not the bike part, but every employee that has ever run the labeler in here has had issues with it. Everyone comes to Jason and asks him to fix it, and then they come back to me later and they're like, Sarah, like he fixed it, but now it's broken again, and I don't know how to fix it myself. And sometimes, you know, he'll be running around. They're like, I don't want to bother him. And I'm like, babe, you have to teach these girls, you have to teach all of them how to fix. He's like, I did it. I just told them to do exactly what I did. I'm like, did you explain it to them? Yeah, which means no. Which means no, because Sarah explaining and Jason explaining are two different things. Jason's like, watch me and do like I do. And they're like, I don't know what you just did. He's like, well, I did it, so bye.
And
Yeah.
Sarah's version of explaining is you know what you're supposed to do, and then she gets mad at you when you don't know what you're supposed to do.
It's not true. When I explain things pretty detailed, especially when it's around here.
another thing I
You don't want
noticed.
to be told.
Well, I know another thing I noticed about Jason that
That he's
is
cute.
that when, huh?
That he's cute.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You caught me. No, but like when you know there's something to do, you just do it. Like I can't do that most of the time. Most of the time I
It's the
can't
only
just,
way I function.
I know there's something I need to do. Oh, look, here's this.
I don't
But
understand.
you do it and you go do it. Like when you oh crap, I left this at the warehouse. Boom, you're gone. Where'd he go? Well, he's been gone for 10 minutes. The minute he realized it.
Because
And
the
he's back
longer I
before you
wait to
know
go
it.
get it, the worse it's going to get. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's been life experience for me, especially with coming from line work and shit. It was like there's no waiting for it to get done.
Right.
The one thing, and I think I might have said it before on camera, but one lineman told me one thing before, and I've literally applied it to, or tried to apply it to every facet of my life. He said, always expect that somebody else is waiting on you. Like with any of our jobs that we were working on, you're working on lines that I could be working on a tower and the guys at the other tower is 200 fucking yards away. We can't communicate unless we have our radios going or whatever, you know what I mean? So half the time you'll have guys or apprentices especially that are just like, I'll just like wait until I'm kind of told to do the next thing. Like, no, if there's anything in the world that you can think to do, just fucking do it, because there's going to be a moment that somebody's going to need you to be doing something else. And then you don't have time to go back to that. So just like assume that somebody needs that 5 minutes ago, no matter what it is.
Well, we could apply that to everything. Like it would, with the getting finished with our projects.
It is.
Or jumping on a trend. Just if you think about the less space between your reaction and your action is the better chances of success.
I like that.
And I mean, it's not completely off base with all of it. Just like you said, even with making a craft, if it's nothing that I'm even selling right now, the concept of someone waiting on me is that I have potential customers waiting on me to finish this craft. You know what I mean? Like I have my bank accounts waiting on me to finish this thing to inspire sales, you know, like no matter what, you can apply that statement to something is waiting on every action that your next action is. You know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly. And the shorter the gap between those things, it's more success.
I've been trying to shorten that gap myself, and it's like you said, like I know I have to do things, and some of those things I really am excited to do, but I'm like, oh, right after this, I'm gonna do this real quick, and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go do that, and I'm mid thing, and I'm like, oh, the SKU numbers. I'm gonna do the SKU numbers while I'm on my computer. I have to call Nicole, and I have to talk.
You just opened your computer, emails.
Yeah, I'm gonna do emails, and then I'm gonna go. Oh, I'm gonna finish this, and then I never did my first thing.
Yep, been there.
And
Exactly.
I put myself on the way in. I'm like, I'm going to get up right away. When I get to that warehouse, I'm going to cut that vinyl off. I'm going to set some things to print. I'm going to come back and do my emails super quick. And then I'm going to go in the craft room. I'm going to meet Chris in the podcast room. We're going to, 2 hours later, I'm still doing something that wasn't even on my list.
A lot of that distraction too is definitely the cell phone. And granted, it's a necessary part of what we do, but it's 100% a distraction as well. So like, it's very easy, like Sarah said.
Lately, the video calls
and half the time
nonstop.
Throughout the workday, how many times you hear me say, I don't even know where my phone is right now?
All day.
All day. And that's why I'm getting shit done half the day, because I'm not allowing the phone to be my distraction. Because if I sit at my phone, I can message you all day. I can message Ashley Lee all day about ideas that I have with shit, but that's not the time for it. Not right now. I got other shit that's got to get done.
The video calls have gotten out of hand, and they all start, well, let's say 80% of them start with a necessity, like, hey, Sarah, I need an answer, or hey, Sarah, I need to talk about this. And we get the answers done. And then 10 minutes later, we're talking about broken arms. We're talking about, what Jen had for breakfast. We're talking about what Ashley's going to do next week. And I'm like, I'm into it because I'm having so much fun, right? Talking to people. Finally, I spent years like putting it off. I'm like, oh, I'll talk to them later. But now it's like getting like sucked in, and I'm getting things done, but I'm finding things to do that I could do while I'm talking to these girls and not actually doing all the damn things I know I gotta do.
That's one thing I noticed about when I'm taking my medicine the right way, is like I can finish and stay focused on what I'm doing, even though I'll still have those tendencies like, I need to do the other, but I don't break doing. And then as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to do that one.
Yep.
Like it's like you get stuff and you do it in order.
Those are the really good days.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
The bad days, they just make me feel very sad and unproductive and sometimes depressed. And I'm like, I got to go be productive real quick. And it's 9 o'clock at night. And Jason's like, don't you want to just like hang out? I'm like, yeah.
I feel like this episode is the perfect insight to a conversation between 3 people with social anxiety and ADHD, because the conversation, while I love it, is so fucking disjointed.
but imagine how many people watching. Imagine how many people watching are relating to this and saying like, "Oh my gosh!"
I think you almost need ADHD to follow the episode, but that's like half of the people.
There's
That's part of the fun, though.
People with ADHD default to crafting. It's like I don't know, like an endorphin rabbit hole. Is that what we're gonna say? Like you can literally like even airbrush. You could be airbrushing, I don't know, a mic stand, and all of a sudden you're like, that skull's really cool. Let's airbrush that skull. Or even if you don't airbrush, you just do crafts. You're like, I'm gonna put a drip on that. Ooh, I'm gonna be a knitter today. Ooh, I'm gonna break out my Cricut. Ooh, I'm gonna do tacky tape.
I think crafting as a hobby inherently enables our like-minded peoples, because
I guess that's the other way to say it that's more accurate and makes it sound like we're just...
You can walk up to crafts any day and do something totally fucking different.
Right.
Like, so different, it's ridiculous. You can use the same media that you used yesterday and make something so totally different.
That's a better way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a huge draw.
Talking about people relating to our videos and what we're doing. I literally got I get these often, but like comments on my videos. This one lady put that she just found my channel. She's like, I literally I love these videos and it helped me like get into a good place. She's like, I'm actually happy. Like I spent like hours binge watching, but she said, I've had trouble with that. Like you helped me get through a dark place of depression since my son passed away. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like you never know that
You
people
really
are watching and your videos are taking their mood and like actually giving them inspiration, happiness.
Yeah.
You know,
Remotivating them. A lot of
It-
people lose motivation like that, and you have no idea. You could just be inspiring them.
or yeah, just like helping them through depression just by making them laugh and being my stupid self.
You're not
Yeah.
stupid.
Speaking of which,
Yo, dad jokes.
I wrote these while I was brushing my teeth running late.
I could see it says Fiber One bars on the top.
I was gonna say, oh,
Can
the
you?
shopping list.
So before I get into
It's
that,
not
the 501
checked off.
bars
Did you not get
and
them?
peanut butter. That's my I call it my bed night snack.
Bed night.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
So good.
Snack. I'm gonna do that.
I get it because that's very satiating with the peanut butter.
Take a spoon of peanut butter and slept with each bite. And as soon as I open that jar, my little weenie dog comes she's like
Dead.
I take a flick and I flick it on the ground and she makes the most horrendous noises eating it up. And it's like everybody else is asleep, but it's like our routine bed night snack.
It's our
So if you love peanut butter, get you some Fiber One bars, slather it on. Think of me when you're eating it.
Hey, Fiber One, hit up Taylor in the comments.
There you go. I need a sponsor. And Jif peanut butter. If it's not
and
Jif,
Jiffy
though,
peanut butter.
Jif, no, Jif, Jif.
Don't disappoint us.
Okay. Well, don't get your hopes up. Okay. This is
Those are
dead.
so high.
Hey. Before I do it, guess who I saw today?
Who'd you see today?
Everyone I looked at. Joke number one, slid it under, didn't even know. That was a bad one. The
I
rest of
thought
them
we were
were
about
pretty
the subject change.
good. What do you call a pile of cats?
I don't know. A cat pile.
No, a meowton.
Oh, I felt like meow was going to be in there, but I couldn't.
Meowton. You gotta do meowton. Like, fun fact, I'm highly
poor
allergic to cats.
You're allergic?
Super allergic. Like I'll swell up, snot, sneeze, my eyes will get puffy.
Oh no, you
Well,
can't
we know
ever sleep
Taylor's not. We know
over.
Taylor's not sleeping at our house.
No, can't do cats at
I
all.
only have one cat, but he is the number one dander cat in the world. I think
Oh no,
he's very fluffy.
I'll wave as I drive by.
Very good.
Last one. These are all okay. They're not my best work, but how does a farmer count cows?
Calfully? I don't know.
With a calculator. Oh,
Sometimes they're so obvious that you just
Wait.
miss them.
Taylor, you
Yeah.
absolutely did not disappoint us.
if you didn't get them, just give it a few hours. They'll come to you. So that's my dad jokes for the day. You're welcome. They're not
You
my
gotta
best
get them
work.
back in our normal segments. You gotta do a recording session for us soon.
I will. I definitely will. I got to write
Get it
some
on the
out.
press
and,
quickly.
Yep. Will do.
What was the second thing? I feel like we were going to a second thing right after the jokes. I want
Skateboard.
to see the board.
Oh yeah, the board.
You want to see it now?
Yeah.
Drum on
So,
the table till it falls apart.
so you want to give them the introduction to
I was
the
just going to
skateboard?
ask, should I tell them what's going on?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, the abridged version of this is Taylor taught at Gase, and the second piece, you ran out of time because you guys were airbrushing them beautiful cups. We did a virtual version of it where everyone got to do their skateboards and got a second segment with Duncan, and you guys airbrushed a whole skateboard, a mini skateboard. It's 17 inches.
She's tiny, but it is a skateboard nonetheless.
It's tiny.
And I showed so many techniques doing this during that little virtual. It was a 2.5 hour virtual. So on top of the 5.5 hours, I got 2.5 more.
We would have shut the place down.
There you go. But that's kind of like if we have something in mind, we're going to do it. We're not just going to be like, oh, we didn't have time. We'll
was
make
it Taylor's class that had someone that didn't want to leave.
No, that's Shakira.
Oh, Shakira's class.
somebody that what?
During Gase, there was someone that literally we were locking the doors up and one person was just sitting at their thing crafting. And we're like, it's time to go. And like, yeah, I got you.
I didn't want to be rude to her because she was still finishing, but she was finishing at the pace of, we're going to have to sleep here.
Take it to your hotel room.
All right, let me see.
I want to see it. So it's
Literally at
too,
the-
obviously.
at the last year's Gase, I did do some cups in my hotel room, alcohol ink and airbrush. Put a towel under the door so there's no fumes would get out. But here it is. Here we go.
Wow,
That's so
that
good.
looks so much cooler than I ever expected.
I love it. Oh, he signed it. Look at you.
And this is
That
what
looks
now.
amazing.
I love traditional flame jobs. Traditional flame, I still doodle them on everything that I do. Like, you know, if you're on a phone call or something, you doodle. Flames is what I doodle. I love it.
I showed them how to do this the simple way.
Taylor,
That's
it's
so
so
cool.
nice.
Does that have like power wash on the side?
No, it's a stencil. It's like a point and shoot little texture effect stencil.
Oh, cool.
It's so
Where,
nice.
like,
I can't wait
right
to
there?
hang it up on the wall.
I have to slather some of Poopsie on here. Hey, I'll probably put this stuff. Have y'all seen this stuff? This come out? It's pretty awesome.
I'm dead. I love you. I was thinking of the two
What's that
Facebook commercials I've seen lately for clear tops. I'm like, oh, you got one?
I got something better.
You're our favorite.
There you go. But
That's when that comes here, it's going right behind.
Yeah, one of these is going to get moved.
Yeah.
nice.
Well, we got to switch the walls up because Sarah took my spot.
I like to be straight on.
One thing I would love to see everybody that did it in the class, the virtual class, because I can't see them. You know, I hadn't seen what anybody else made, so that'd be cool to try to get with them. Maybe I'll shoot them an email and say, "Hey,
Oh yeah, I was
see
going to
your
say
picture."
you asked for the email list already,
Yeah.
right? I'll get you that later today.
Yeah, and I want to
did.
make a post in the group. Anyway, it's hard not anymore, but it's hard with the posts in the groups and stuff because if you don't time it out properly, it's just not seen.
And
So
if you schedule it, they're not seen.
yeah, so if I
You have to post it real time. Facebook don't want to mess around anymore.
if I make a post
Yeah.
right after this and say, hey, anybody that did Taylor's live, post your pictures in here, there's a strong chance that only 3 people even see it. It's crazy.
Yesterday
That
was the
sucks,
worst.
yeah.
The algorithm is so bad.
Yesterday was the worst that I've had with interactions. I posted something, even did an at everyone, and no one really saw my post. I had to go into Messenger and I messaged, I think 10 people to go interact with my post because that's what you got to do sometimes these days.
Wow.
You can't get, and then it started picking up once my friends were like, but if I don't start the day strong, if I don't post something in that group, forget about it. I am fist fighting to get any kind of engagement. It's like Zuckerberg's trying to punish us for not posting as soon as you wake up.
Yeah, he wants you to boost it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they don't
exactly.
want
I want you to boost all your posts.
I wonder if you could, each time you post, pin it to the top, and then after you're done with it, just unpin it.
Sometimes it's hit or miss if they see it. And I can see, if you're an admin on the group, you can see how many people it made an impression on. And I'm like, 73 people, there's 64,000. It's been an hour.
Dang.
Show it to somebody else.
That's crazy.
But some days it just doesn't.
Yeah. Algorithm, booty cheeks.
Yeah, that's what I'm messing with YouTube is the algorithm stuff. But I don't think it's not as horrendous as Facebook's stuff and Instagram.
Instagram is so bad right now. Our stories were getting hit with great numbers prior to this week. And now this week, the numbers are 40. And I'm like, 40? That's nothing near what we were getting before. What happened? No one wants to see my stories or the same stories. That's they've been kind of better.
Yeah, my buddy custom paints and he's noticed that. That's all he does is Instagram and.
I think I put too many links in my stories.
Do what?
I think I put too many links. Lately I've been putting the little link at the bottom, and Instagram's probably too many people are leaving my app. We're gonna
That's what I was gonna say. If it takes them away.
Yeah, we're gonna slow you down.
So what was your buddy, what's going on with his feed?
Oh yeah.
Well, his just it all of a sudden out of nowhere just comes to a screeching halt where he's everything he posts, reels and does just killing. And then all of a sudden it's just out of nowhere. He didn't change anything. He didn't get inconsistent. It's just
right.
It's nobody sees my stuff now.
It's crazy.
But he does a lot of flame jobs. He sells a lot of mailboxes.
Oh,
yeah?
I bet. Yeah, I bet
Yeah.
that's really popular.
That's really cool. You got to
If
think
you
how
go
many
to
people in this
Etsy-
country got to receive mail, right?
Yeah. If you go to Etsy, I don't know how you say it. Who cares?
I thought you were about to
and
sing the Itsy Bitsy Spider.
Etsy Bitsy. Yeah. If you go on there and type in like American flag mailbox or American flag flame mailbox, I think his is the one that pops up.
Cool.
Give it a test, huh? Oh, I deleted Etsy.
Oh my god, my phone, I just had to go through my phone, so my phone got so full, and I think it's from those little, like...
You cut videos that I was making because they save at a higher thingy or whatever it may be. My phone was 99% filled. I couldn't even open my camera anymore. And I'm
I've
trying
had
to
that happen.
put stuff in these clouds. These clouds can't put nothing anywhere because
I got crappy phone service anywhere I go in New Jersey because T-Mobile, apparently T-Mobile, you better be listening, hates me.
and then we go home where my Wi-Fi is poop. We come to work where my Wi-Fi is hit or miss. But apparently the days that I've been hitting, I'm not trying to send these damn files to the cloud. Nothing's going up to the clouds. So it's just been on here. Finally, a long story short, I got everything removed onto a thumb drive and now I can download my apps again. I deleted all my apps.
I plug mine into the computer and move my videos, and then I'll delete them off my phone.
That's what I do.
I don't know how
now.
much
I put
time-
them on a thumb drive.
If
I don't know how much
we could just
we got left, but I used your UV resin as well.
Yeah.
And I did some experimenting, and I'm editing the video now. But like, I made I saw a guy do it
What are you doing there?
I saw a guy do it on YouTube, and I used y'all's UV resin,
Yeah.
and I made a copper wire and dipped it, and then kind of like
Oh, like a jewelry piece.
yeah. And then this one, I did like a swirl in the top, and it made like a thing. So I made like a pendant.
I've been
know
watching
if you see
people
it.
on Instagram make
I
these
think,
like big ones.
Taylor, try putting your hand directly behind it.
Oh, yeah, I've
Oh,
seen
the
people
real
do that.
YouTuber. Look at you. Quick, let's see it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're supposed to do
That work?
Nah. Yeah, move it back a little.
Ooh, there it is.
Yeah, it's better.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
It's dangly. You
like it.
wear an earring or a necklace. I had my I have 2 holes in my ear. I don't know if they're still open or not. I had my first one when I was 4 years old.
Yeah. That's what
Right.
I had I think my mom took me to get my ears pierced, when I was a toddler or whatever, when they do that. When it's supposedly they don't feel it, right? Like, get the fuck out of here. They feel it. They just
Yeah,
can't talk
they
to you
feel
and
everything.
say ow.
They just can't tell you.
I
But
used to
my mom-
every single year in my teens, I'd try to get a new piercing in my left ear. At one point I had like 7 piercings going up this ear. I don't put any earrings in anymore. So
I don't have any now either. Nope.
Yeah.
I had my first one when I was 4, and then I was 17. I got the second hole, and that was it. And I gauged them out a little bit later. Not too big, but no.
Mine's an inch.
Sarah's got 1-inch gauges.
Is your
Wow.
friend's name Scott
No,
with the
definitely.
mailboxes?
No, it's Thomas TS Flame.
Oh, he didn't come up first. We'll have to look a little later, deep dive.
Well, I have to tell him that he'll need to get to work on that crap.
This is true.
I
But
bet
he-
with the way these damn algorithms are, he was probably number 1 yesterday, and now today he's like number 10. It's like, what happened?
I used to be
Yeah.
number 1 on Etsy for a while.
If you don't post or update your listings, they'll move you down.
I
You know-
I learned that real quick, but I left Etsy at the end of 2017, so things are extremely different from when I was on there.
I've noticed you get more traffic to your website the more frequently you update it and change a few things. Yeah.
I was wondering if that works similar because it's not like a platform, like Etsy is a platform. So every time you make a new listing, you're immediately to the top for that many seconds until there's a newer one.
I
At least
found it.
that's how it used to be. So then when you are editing a listing, Etsy used to think, and I assume they still do, it's new. So it puts it to the top.
I think any sort of social thing, website, social media, YouTube, all that. I think the more you update, the more traffic you get by default, I guess. Kind of moves you up the rung.
I found
That's
it.
why I wish I could post more videos. You found it, you say?
Yeah, he's probably like 5th one down.
You
slacking.
should set your camera up, Taylor, one day and just do a time lapse of the next piece you do. And I think I would find that very satisfying to watch. You just airbrush.
Especially the murals you're working on right now. The pictures you were sending of us at the dance studio.
You doing that in 5 hours and 45 seconds, I'd be on it. I'd be like, I need more.
As soon as you sent the pictures over, because like you were explaining what you were doing before you sent the pictures. So just like putting an image in my head. But then as soon as you sent the pictures over and Sarah was like showing them to us, I was like, what the? It's like so much cooler than my brain was even like imagining it. So I love it. I love all of it. And I think that style is super very trendy, like that kind of cartoony Dr. Seussy look.
Yeah. I drew it all up in Photoshop first, and then I made transparencies and projected it.
Okay.
And then just go doodling from there. But the reason I don't. Huh?
What do you use to project?
Like a literally 40-year-old high school projector.
Like one of them old gray Johns that they'd roll in and then put.
They get hot as fire. Yeah.
Would you find that on like Marketplace or like?
Where I used to work, they had old offices that nobody went in. So I just went in one and I seen it there and I was like, can I have this? Like, yeah, if you want it. The only thing I had to do was buy a new light bulb for it. That light bulb was $35.
Damn.
That's like like those things, tools like that, which are considered extremely outdated and have like, quote unquote, no purpose now, I feel like are super useful though in niche, purposes, like exactly what you're doing. And I feel like artists like yourself would probably be hard pressed to find something like that now because it's obsolete technology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dude, I really wish I just had something that could project a simple picture on a wall. It's like, oh, you mean the things they used to have in every classroom 20 years ago?
But they have digital ones now where you can plug up your USB or your phone and they project and they're like this big.
Yep.
Will it project just as big?
I think so. I'm not really sure.
They differ on the listings. They'll tell you how big it goes. Because we looked at those for something. It was a little bit ago, like 2 years ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like for this one, I'd have to go to the FedEx store to have transparencies made and then realize I didn't make it smaller enough or bigger enough because I don't have enough room to back up the thing or adjust it. So I have to go back to FedEx and have more copies made, printed transparencies. But it really comes in handy. But my problem with that stuff is like I'm thinking, okay, I'm just focused on getting it like done. Nobody's going to want to watch a video of this, and I don't know how to package it to make them click to watch.
That's where we're gonna find someone to help you out.
So none of those murals that you did in that studio are stencils. That's all freehand projected.
Yeah, freehand project. Yeah,
that's crazy to me.
It looks so good. I really love it.
I love it.
I did post a TikTok that I thought was pretty interesting. It was like on a yellow wall in the kitchen. It's snack time, and it shows the process. I always like those process shots.
Yeah,
same.
Where you go like the start really rough, projected it and outlined it, and then I did my drop shadow and then I painted in white. I didn't show enough of the steps, but you get the gist of it. Like you see, like trust the process because this looks like garbage. And you're right here and you're like, are you sure you know what you're doing? And then at the end, it's like, holy crap, it's amazing.
Sometimes
like
you get so far through with those and you're like, this man clearly doesn't know what he's doing. I got to see this through. And it's like, holy shit, it's Picasso.
That's what it's.
I've had a lot of people.
Shadows with the airbrush, man. The shadowing is always that last level. You're just like,
my favorite part.
It's like you can just grab the image right off the fucking thing.
So we are working with you on a few things that we have coming up over the next 12 months, but I only want to really talk about one of them because the other two I'm really excited about, but they'll be a surprise. We're trying to bring in December, our virtual.
Yes, we'll do another one. That'll be fun.
Well, not by the time this airs, but we'll get all those details hashed out because I really enjoy having you as a teacher. I don't know if we even thought about a day or anything, but at least we know you'll be coming back in December for virtual and everyone can
it'll be Christmas Day.
Take a virtual class.
Oh, Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. Taylor has nothing going on.
Will you dress like Santa for the live? Oh no, we said you should dress like Buddy the Elf.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh. You
Who
smell
else
like
did we
picking
say you
teas.
should dress like? I forget. It was somebody
I
funny.
know him. Santa.
I know him.
That's like a classic, like one of my favorite movies. I told my wife that we were talking about favorite movies. I said, mine's got to be Elf. She's like, are you serious? I was like, that movie is
Love it.
fan. It's
You could dress like Zoe Deschanel in that movie. You could dress like the female.
Oh,
I forget
when
her
she's
name
in
in
the shower.
Sure. If that's the scene that's your favorite, you could do that. Does Facebook have Facebook has to have some nudity clauses in there, or else they'd be only fancy
It's
everywhere.
cold
But I think
outside.
male nipples are fine. We might have to look that up, but I think male nipples are fine.
Let's see.
Oh no.
You just made anyone watching the episode get real hot for a sec.
Your attention just.
Is there another box now? We have to click on YouTube when we upload this? Is there an extra-
nudity.
Yeah.
18 and older.
I feel like it would have been fun. It would have been funny if we just had you actually do the motion, but Chris just put one of them big black censored bars across the middle.
Oh, well, there's still time.
Yeah, like the what were those dang videos that they always did?
It means he's gonna have-
Girls Gone Wild. The Girls Gone Wild.
Oh yeah, that's
Stay up
funny.
late night, and that was like the ads every time.
That's exactly
Craft
what's
Tea
going to
going
walk
wild.
behind him when he's got a paused version of Taylor's nipples on the screen.
That's it.
She's like, wow, that's took a whole nother change now.
Crafters Gone Wild. And that's what
There
it
you
says
go.
at the top.
You got
Oh,
water right
Just
here. and
Taylor's
white-
just shooting
my
paint
shirt
with
is
his
white.
airbrushes.
Dressed
Yeah.
like Zoe Deschanel from the shower scene.
My next video.
For my next trick.
Yeah, crafting in the shower.
How'd you get many views on that video?
I just decided to start doing all my airbrushing from the shower.
Yeah, yeah. It's like some of those TikTok or whatever where they just like they don't even try. They just wear bikinis or something. It's like, what
I
are you
don't
doing?
get those on my
It gives
feed, Taylor.
it gives a whole new meaning.
I don't either.
Watercolor.
Those
it's
don't
funny.
come up on my feed.
It's funny, like that stuff. Like when I first opened up TikTok and started using it, I was like, that's all. Like it got the politics crap, the risque stuff, and all that. And I'm like, this sucks. I'm not.
Taylor's like, I don't belong here.
And I'm asking my wife, I'm like, how? Do you not get this on your TikTok? She's like, oh no, you got to curate it. I was like, what does that mean? She's like, well, you got to purposely search for stuff and scroll and like and scroll and like. So I
That's
did
why
that.
mine's wild.
I did that a little bit, and then I didn't get on it for like months, and I opened it back up, and this back crap. I was like, I'm deleting this. She said, give it to me. So she did it for a little while, got me in the right space,
It's a lot of work.
like with crafty stuff and tumblers and art. And so now it's got, and funny stuff.
Oh, she put some funny in there for you. That was sweet of her.
Oh, we die laughing.
I'm dead.
Looking at those funny fails videos. Those are hilarious. You like to think they didn't really get too bad hurt as you're laughing at them.
Oh, those kind of fails.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like someone failing at something. No, you were watching everyone get hurt.
Yeah.
We watch that
Yeah.
from time to time. Ridiculousness and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like ridiculousness.
Oh,
That's funny.
yeah.
That's
Mom
I feel
watches
like
on
of many households, that's the go-to if you have guests over and you're like, I don't really know what to put on the TV. Just throw ridiculousness on.
Not
turn
at
the
my
volume
house.
down a little bit because you don't need it to be that loud either.
My
Yeah.
house,
Visual, stimulus in the background. And
my
you're
house
set.
is Family Feud.
Yeah, we do.
Only the Steve Harvey Family Feud, which is kind of only the Family Feud you can find now. Because when me and Jason first got addicted, you'd find all 3 hosts, and then you could only find the 2. What's his name from the Tin Man Tool Man?
Oh,
Home Improvement. Yeah.
Al, whatever his real
And now
name
you
is.
can really only see Steve Harvey unless you like really have to want to find the old ones.
Listen, I mean, other than
Family Feud always.
the extremely inappropriate Richard Dawson, Louis Anderson was my favorite.
On
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, boom, you didn't even know that
I don't
Louis
wanna
Anderson
know.
was the host
I
of
care
Family
not.
Feud for a time.
I care not about this man.
That was before Chris was even born.
Still don't care.
Do you even know who Louis Anderson is?
Yeah, but I never watched.
Okay. Oh, I just wasn't, because he's
Like,
even.
can you stop playing me real fast?
No, I mean, see, but Louis Anderson, other than
I
him
know
also
Louis Anderson
being dead right
is.
now, he hasn't had relevance in 15 to 20 years.
It's crazy that he's still one of them names, though.
I mean, as a very particular voice. Nobody else has had
Yeah.
Louis Anderson's voice. I don't even know how to redo that voice.
I don't.
Yeah, it's very nasally.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey or nothing.
No, he's so
Steve's
good. Though.
funny.
Steve Harvey's
He's
freaking
funny.
hilarious. It's just because he tears into everyone, especially when they give
Yeah.
dumbass responses. I
And
love it.
He does his eyebrow reactions. He's just like, oh.
Okay, go ahead, let's see it. And I love when it's up there. He's like, there's 0% chance this is on the board. Ding. He throws his cards.
Yeah.
Or when they do bits about Steve Harvey, and he's like, "What did you just say to me?"
See, this is what I'm talking about the episode. Now it's become a tribute to Family Feud.
Steve Harvey.
We made it in the crafting. We started with injuries, made it in the crafting, and then now we're on Family Feud.
But you're gonna have
That
to find
sounds like a
you're gonna have
well-rounded
to figure out what
episode.
your last topics are anyway, because
I know, I got shit to do.
and you promised this was not going to be an hour and a half. That was
Is
specific.
that where we're at? What?
Well,
Yeah.
how long is it?
He might have said two.
Hour 7.
Oh, that's not bad.
We always do our best episodes.
It is.
today.
But we got to cut it because we don't want to ruin the fucking chances of this episode getting views again.
It was steady.
They were not steady on the last one.
No.
It was just too long.
On ours?
Yeah, nobody wants to sit with us that long.
Losers.
We just have to break
You
it.
got to put them on Spotify sooner. Put Taylor's on Spotify as soon as you get the footage.
Taylor's episode performed better on YouTube than it did on Spotify. That was what
But
we
did it
said
go
was the
up-
irony.
Did it go up quickly or did it go up later?
That one was probably quickly because I was more on the ball earlier in the episodes.
Well, you know what? For data purposes, we're going to put yours up quickly. You're special. I thought you were going to do something else and I was scared.
No
shirt has a hole in it.
more shirt lifting.
Jason's shirt's got a
Yeah.
hole in it, he said.
Good thing I'm wearing a jacket. I got a hole in my shirt and it's right around the nipple area.
Well,
Darn.
God.
I just had a slip.
Some do that on purpose for the views.
Yeah.
In Super
Watch
Bowl,
Jason try to be like Beyonce.
Yeah, that's what like the headline of this
No,
says.
it's Beyonce.
Janet
It's
Jackson.
like medical injuries,
dead.
nip slips.
You don't
and
know how many
more.
times I've said Beyonce and her nip slip, I think.
That was Janet Jackson, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
And Justin
wardrobe-
Timberlake.
Janet and Justin.
There's a wardrobe
Janet and
malfunction.
Justin.
Very particular wardrobe malfunction.
This is the topic that we
I
decided.
don't know.
we're
I don't
gonna
know how
sign
many
off.
other like. I'm not a woman, but I don't know how many other women when they're getting ready are like, you know what? Let's throw some pasties on too under this.
I think it depends on the shirt because your nipples will show.
I mean, that also I feel like is part of the effort when you're wearing out wardrobe like that. Like that
Well,
was
there's-
already a very revealing wardrobe.
I mean, how many times
So
do
I
I
feel
come
like
to you
you-
and I'm like, is the strap worse or is the nipple worse? That's a girl problem, you know? No,
I don't know. You lost me on this one.
women's clothes and we lost you?
Yeah.
Is
Afraid
this a
so.
topic that you wanted before
You don't
we
ever think about this when you're going in before you do a tutorial? Like, are my nipples showing too much?
When I'm picking out my outfit, what I want to wear, it's exactly what I'm
He
thinking
might
out.
now.
That's what you got to get the side profile and everything and just make sure.
Yeah, see, they're out, but we're talking about them. So they might just be perked up. I
Yeah.
hate everything right now. This is
I
the
believe
topic
we've-
that we decided to sign off on. This is the topic.
I believe we have
and the walk
taken
away
a turn
from.
for the worse.
About nipples. I wasn't talking about nipples. You
I'm
brought
not
up
positive it
nipples.
was me. I just went with what was said.
I feel like I still haven't said the word. Good night, everybody.
I can't.
We're making
All right, it's
We're
off the
making
rails.
tea.
Taylor, next
Back to
time we
work.
see you, that mustard bottle better still be there.
The pot.
Now, pour the tea.